There's trees in the South that don't just grow, they remember. They hold secrets in the curl of their roots. They cradle stories in their moss-draped limbs. And some of them, they grieve. They cry when the sun goes down. I'm talking about the Wailing Oaks, a stand of ancient trees hidden past the crumbled brick columns of a long-gone plantation. Roots so thick they buckle the earth, limbs so wide they blot out the stars. Locals say you can hear them sob after dark, and if you walk too close, you might just be crying too. They say the grove was planted over 200 years ago, a wedding gift, so the story goes, from a land baron to his bride. Now, she loved those oaks, named them, spoke to them, said they whispered back. Then one autumn, though, she vanished. Some said she ran, others say she was taken. The next night, those trees began to moan. The sound wasn't wind, not quite. It was wetter, more human, like a sob wrapped in leaves, like breath being stolen from the throat. Farmhands left, children cried in their sleep, even the dogs refused to bark in that direction. And the landlord? No, he sealed up the doors, boarded up the windows, took to sleeping with a pistol under his pillow, as if that was going to help him. One morning they found him on the front porch, eyes open, mouth open, but not a sound left his lungs. If you go to the Grove today, and I don't recommend it, you'll notice something strange. There's no birds. Not a single one, not a sound. You might hear some creaking, like footsteps or shifting of enormous weight. You might see carvings on the bark, names, initials, tiny handprints. Some so fresh the wood still weeps sap. But no one around carves those, not anymore. There's a local tale that every generation adds a mourner to the grove, a soul taken by sorrow too heavy to bear. A woman who sang lullabies to her baby long after the crib was empty. A man who stared at the photo of a brother lost in the war till the ink faded. A girl who danced barefoot in a summer storm, calling out names no one else could hear. Each one disappeared near those trees. And each time, the wailing turned louder, longer, and more desperate. One day, a teenage boy dared to spend the night in the grove on a dare. They say he lit a fire, pulled out a harmonica, tried to laugh off the chill. And by midnight, the fire had turned blue. Then the trees, they began to cry. The sound built slowly, like wind in a tunnel, then like a choir of mourners, and then voices, not screams, not yells, just names. One by one, the trees began calling names. Not his name, your name, my name, names no one should know. He ran until his feet bled. To this day, he won't speak above a whisper. And he never sets back foot in the woods again, not even in daylight. Some say those trees are cursed, that they carry the burden of every sorrow spilled on that land. Others say they're protectors, The garden once buried underneath. Because beneath those oaks, if you dig deep enough, you'll find things. Shards of porcelain dolls, rusted keys, hair ribbons, notes written in faded ink, and bones. Not always whole, not always human. The brave, or the foolish, had left offerings. A lock of hair wrapped in muslin, a bell from a child's bicycle, a single pearl earring. Those who give an offering never hear the trees cry again, but those who don't, well, they hear it every time the wind changes, like it might tonight. Last year, someone caught a photo in a grove. Just a blur, really, but barely more than a shadow. But if you look close, you'll see her. A woman in green. Hair like hanging moss, eyes like rain-soaked bark. Her dress shifts like leaves, and her hands, well, her hands are all wrong. Too many fingers and too long. She doesn't move. She doesn't speak. She just watches. But sometimes, every now and again, she'll raise a hand and point to the edge of the woods as if to say, run. There are oaks, and then there are the oaks. And when the sun slips behind the swamp and the frogs begin to sing, you best be inside. Because when the wailing oaks begin their song, they ain't just crying, they're calling. And they don't just want company, they want you to stay.